Go world. So, welcome to this session of a Shaman's Directory Live. And I am Trisha Bennett, and I am today's host of Shaman's Directory Live. We have a number of hosts for our events. We try to have events twice a month. And today we have with us Wake Wheeler and Wilbert Salas Atasi. And we're going to continue on our journey of calling in the universe. Although we were talking about this session and we decided that it could easily stand alone. The first two sessions were really calling in the four directions. And today we're going to talk about and explore the three worlds. So, Shaman's Directory is an online directory for shamanic services. We are found at shamansdirectory.com and on social media and YouTube at Shaman's Directory. So we're delighted to have all of you here today. We ask everyone to stay muted and to share thoughts and questions in the chat as we go along. So, Wake, do you want to say anything to start here?
Sure. I'm delighted to be with you, Tricia, all the attendees present and future, and Wilbert Salas Atasi. Wilbert, I've known you for 20 years, and you are an amazing man of mystery and manifestation. What I like about this particular series is opening sacred space of sourcing what's around us. I think you really have a beautiful sense of space and calling what appears to us. And that's an update, a software update to the callings that I'm used to. And I feel that it's heightening awareness of what's around, what's an ally, and what we really depend on, and what we want to bring into our ceremonies. Of particular interest to me today is the idea of bringing in the three worlds. To me, it's bringing in the dimensionality of the Kausai Pacha, of the land of living energy. And it's one thing to call what's right in front of us, and that, as I say, is an enlivening to each person. If you just sense what is there in your present state, and who are your allies, and what do you wish to call, that's very powerful in and of itself. And yet to source the power of the three worlds, the Hanak Pacha, the upper world, the Kai Pacha, this world, the Uhu Pacha, the lower world, brings in a new dimensionality to the call, and really fleshes out this land of living energy that we live in. So I'm looking forward to your presentation, Wilbert. I think Tricia and I are both very interested in this approach to opening sacred space, and we may have questions from time to time. And also those who are present, please do put your questions or comments in the chat, and we'll get to those as well. So Wilbert, up to you, and thank you for presenting today.
Okay, thank you, Wakey, and thank you, Tricia, to inviting me to this, be part of this Shaman Directory. I think Shaman Directory is gonna now share this Indian tradition. It's because we are interested. Everyone want to learn. Everybody want to know how works that one or how is that. Like Wakey says, this lineage, is really very, very nice, I can say, because teach you who you are and what you want to do and why you are here. This is a principle, is this a special value that we have to do in the beginning. My name is Wilbert Salas. So what I learned, how I told you, I learned it just from my grandfather, from my father, and from my people who live in my village, and they're healers too. It's not easy, but it's gonna take a little bit more time, but it's okay. So like Waike says, for any meetings and any ceremonies and healings that we're going to do, always we make this opening the sacred places. Why we have to open in sacred places? Because this is the time to call. Let us know to the spirits and let us know to every mountains and every lakes and lagoons and the upper world, here world and underworld and the animals. Let us know the intentions why we are here. Okay, so according to this intention, I'm going to call to the sacred places. Is that okay, everybody? Please let's go with everybody to the east direction. To the east, please, to the east, to the east. Inti vaya, inti taita, anti suyo. Taitai hampui taitai, kunanka shaman directory. Sumachta mast arenka, yachay nikita muna nikita yankay nikita. Hanaj pachamanta, kay pachamanta, uju pachamanta. Yipinta willariwankiko taitai. Yachachiwankiko alinkanaykupo sumaj kananto. Yipin kuman mast arinki. Hatun yachayta, hatun munaita. Kunanka taitai, kay sumaj uychichay punchaypi. Alinta taitai kawakuankiko. Sumajta kawakiwankiko. Yipin kuman yachachinkiku. Anyay taitai. Urpichay sonkuchay. Ho! To the south, please, to the south. Ay, cola baila, cola suyo, hampu y tete, lago titicaca, hampu y ausangate, hampu y tete, kunante, eres yo ikea, anaj pachata, imainatan sumasta no kaiku chayaikuman chaita, kai pachaman imainatan no kaiku anyay chaykuman, uhu pachaman imainatan rikuman, imainatan por ikuchete chayaikum, kunan sumasta tete, kawarvenkiku, allí yachaita, mura yachaita, aliankaita no pachamanta, sumak causaita kai pachapi. Sumak muna nakuita, sumak inko nakuita. Jaya jay nikion muna nikion ya nikion. Alin purinay ko, alin kanay ko pa. Or pite son ko say. Yaho! To the west now, to the west. Konti waira konti suyo. Mama kocha, hampi tete. Hatun kiro, hatun yauri, hampi tete sumata kunanka. Hatun imanko, hampi tete. Kang yasi yo angiku tete sumata kunanka. Chay tukuy ya chay nikita tukuy munay nikita tukuy lankay nikita. Imainatan no kayko hanak pachaman si kaykuman. Imainatan kunan tapurkikuman hanak pachaman chayayta. Hanak pachap imainatan no kaykuman aska kunaman rita. Kay pachapitan no kayko pura imainatan rimaykuman chayta. Imainatan huyunakuykuman. Imainatan no kayko kay pachapi alinta lankaykuman alinta ruaykuman alinta chay nikon munay nikon lankaykuman. Sumakta yana para ikitete. Alin punche kachun sumak punche kachun no kaykuman. Alinta tete. Or pichay son kuchay. Now to the north. Chinchay waira chinchay suyo. Ham pues tete kunanka no kaykuman. Ham pues kia tete. Campi kasan que Estados Unidos, Canadá. Rocky Mountain. Ham pues tete. Apuchasta. Lipiquichas ham pues ya kunanka. Yana pariba ikia. Rexeita kawaita hanak pachaman. Kay pachapi me manta ro nikita. Uhu pachapi me nata no kaiko. Mama pacha mamon sumata kausay kuman. Chayte chachiwayko tete. Imainatan no kaiko sumata tinko na kuman kay pachapi. Chayta kawari chiwayko. Chay son kuikita kunanka sumata akariwayko lipikuman. Chay pag mi kay shaman directory. Kicharikun. Runa kuna yachita. Runa kuna aisana kipa. Hatun yang nikiman, kor yang nikiman, kor yang nikiman, kapak yang mucho orang. Or piche sun puche to the mother earth. Pachamamita, Santa Madre, Santa Tierra. Sumak sun kuyo, great heart. Yachachiway kuya. Imainatan no kay kupurikuman. How we can walk to the upper world. How we can do here in this world to be in good and great relationship. And we have to go to the deep of your heart and know about your life, about your deeply life. Teach us today. Great Mother, you have a lot of things to teach us. Great Mother, you are just the one. There is no two mothers. You are the only one. Every day we come to you to ask you. Thanks, Mother, you give us everything. Your food, your water, everything. And sometimes we never tell you thank you. But somehow, today we're going to learn. how you are going to teach us with your great knowledge, with your love, and your deeply, deeply powerful energy, how we can connect with upper world, how we can know this Kaipacha and also the Upacha. Thank you, Mother. Gracias, gracias, Pacha. Upper world, upper world. Apua kantanka wirakochang pachakamachik pachayachachik hatun yaya, hatun churu, hatun taita, tunupa kontiki, waranka with 1,000 names. We can tell you many, many names, but you are just the one. Kunampunchay, yasachiwaiku, imeinatan kan manchei kutachaita. Today help us. How we can come to you and you can teach us how we can manage ourselves and how we can do with these own problems and problems of the society. And also teach us how to connect with the people to help to them, how to connect with the spirits and ask for wonderful love that they have, the great knowledge and the powerful energy that they have. And we are waiting for the great medicine from all of these apus, from the Mother Earth, from the Chaskakuna, from the Uhupacha. Today we'll talk about that. And with your great, powerful energy of your knowledge, we will do it. And with your wonderful love, we are going to share your beautiful teaching today. And also the powerful energy we will share to be always in your path, in your rich path, in your gold and silver path. Thank you for this for today. And finally, we ask you always, give us your great medicine for everybody that we are following you. Give us your medicine for all the world to be in good path, like you expecting from us to be in your great Papanyang, which is the rich path. Oh, thank you, thank you. Oh, so that's it. Okay, so this is the sacred places. So when you're going to open the sacred places, you need to be clear what's going to be the intention that you're going to be next. I mean, today. So today, like Wakeley and Tricia says, we are going to talk about the upper world, here world, and underworld. The greater trilogy, you know, if you are going to come someday to Cusco, if you are going to go to the ruins, and there will be artisans who's going to offer you the trilogy of that, you know, but they are not going to offer you like Hanakpacha, Kaipacha, Hupacha. They are going to offer you like this. See, they're going to offer you like this, you know, or like this. You can see it, yeah. You know, and they're going to say Hanakpacha, Kaipacha, and Hupacha. That means condor, puma, and snake. That one you're going to, maybe you're going to come someday to Cusco and, oh, Wilbert doesn't talk about, but you know, this is the representation of this Hanakpacha, Kaipacha, Uhupacha. On the same time, it's the representation of the Yache, Imune, Yankei. Okay? Hanakpacha, Kaipacha, and Uhupacha. So first we are going to talk about the Hanakpacha. All the healers like Pacos. Why we have to go to the Hanakpacha, to the Chaskakuna? Because everybody of us, we have our Chaska, we have our star. But this star is like the world that you are. So when you are healer or Paco, here is your world. And people know you like Wilbert, but also sometimes they'll say, oh, Wilbert has his own Chaska. But when they talk about it, your own Chaska, they are not talking about the International Chaska. This is the special bride that you have, your huge experience, your great, beautiful, deeply loved, and your energy you have is going to be like a bride, and people know you. So we have to go there because, you know, we are connecting with the star nations. But, you know, if you're connecting with the star nations, you have to choose with which of a star you are going to work. But here is a question: why I have to choose the special star? Because, you know, some people have a special feeling with the belt of the Orion, with the Southern Cross, with the seven sisters, which is the Pleiades, or with the sun, or with the moon. It depends. You don't have to choose necessarily. You have to go just star nations. And when you're saying the star nations, you are talking about the huge, million of stars that we have. So when we talk about the star nations, also we have to talk about the God of the gods, which is the great energy. Like that I say in my callings, with 1,000 names, we say Kontiki, Amaru, or Pachatusan, Pachakamachik, Pachachich, Werakuchan, Hatuye, many thousand names, according to my tradition. According for some of the Mexicans, they say Yaya, Tata, Papa, a lot of great names, but just is only one. But how we have to go there, that is a special thing, from us to go up, and to be in the star nations. It's not like a simple person can say, yes, okay, I'm going to call to the star nation. No. First of all, we have to recognize ourselves. That's the Taripa Pacha. I'm going to write in the chat, please. So for everybody, that's going to be important because what I mean, Taripa Pacha. Taripa Pacha. That's it. Taripa Pacha. Sometimes I'm not good. Taripa Pacha. Great. That's it. Taripa Pacha. You come. This Taripa Pacha. I talk about this too much because, you have to know yourself. You have to find yourself. Try to look for yourself. Because, everyone all the humanity who are in this world, they are healers. They are Pacos. What they need is just to try to find and go in this path, go further in this path. That's what they need. A lot of people say, no, but I don't know, I don't believe. Okay, that's fine, no problem. But once you are going to be inside of that, you are going to see how nice is this life if you want to be in this path. So knowing yourself, you are giving to yourself a special value. And this special value, knowing yourself, you mean, I'm Wilbert Salas, who I am, believing myself, trusting myself, love myself, and like that way you are going to find yourself. That's the best Taripa Pacha.
And Wilbert, the Tarapai Pacha is the time of meeting ourselves.
Okay, that's it.
And what I
I'm going
understand
to
is
next.
this is the time. This is the time
And
that we're meeting ourselves.
Taripa Pacha means all these concepts, it's like, Taripa means, find yourself. So, before to go farther upper, what we have to do is just, the time to find. That's the time to find. And what is the time to find? It's not going to be from 1 day, 2 days. You are going to say, yes, I'm Wakey, Weller, and that's no. You have to work a little. It's much more deeply. I cannot explain exactly, but the Taripa Pacha is going to take time because you have to know how I tell you who you are, what you're doing, the acceptation, believe yourself, trust yourself, and like these things has to be already made it in yourself, and that one give you opportunity to have a special concept who you are, and after that you are going to further. And in this Taripa Pacha, you have already the basis. You have already the Taripa Pacha is after the Mozo, after the great initiation time, because in the grand initiation time will give you opportunity to know this. You're going to know the sacred places, you're going to know the apus, everything you're going to keep it in your experience. And that one gives you much more, to know yourself. And after that, you're going to go further and further. And finally, but what is the intention to do this Taripa Pacha? Because finally, we are going to go further than Mascay Pacha, which is the best places, that you're looking for. And finally, you find it, the time is find it, where the place is too pure, everything's great. It's like the God place. That is why that we try to go to the Mascay Pacha. And if you someday you are going to be in the Mascay Pacha, means that you are a great Alto Misayo. But you know, when I talk about Alto Misayo, like in my prior conversations, I told you, you don't have to be worried to go always there. If you can make a great Taripe Pacha, you are so good. Don't be worried. But along is gonna come this. Much more knowledge, much more experience, the love you'll be so fine, and less huchas, and great balance, and you can go farther. But how I tell you, let's be okay with Pampa Messiah because we are here in the Sky Pacha.
Mhm.
And you know, Hana Pacha is represented by the condor. Why the condor represent Hana Pacha? It's because, you know, he flies over. And sometimes when he or she cannot fly in the valleys, he has to find the sacred fine, a special fine wind to go up. And sometimes a lot of people, if you can see the condor cannot fly so easy sometimes because you know he need or she need first look the sacred special wind and to go up there. You know, that's why that sometimes they are wandering in the same place. But when they find a good wind, they will be quickly. And also the condor never attacked to animals because he's a vulture. He has, you know, he just is best cleaner. And also the communication is going to be by the winds. That is why that we used to clean the feather of the condor. Okay, and then you know that's why that my ancestors represented the condor to the Hanahpacha. And also condor is going to be the best transmission, we can say, the translator of our intentions with the upper world. That is why, according to my tradition, that the condor represent Hanahpacha. Okay, so I think talking these things also there is many nice things to talk about the Hanakpacha. For example, when we talk about the Hanakpacha in my prior conversation today, I say you about the star nations because it's huge to talk about the star, but you know, will be enough to say just Kakuna. But you know, like Pacos, like Achilles, we have to know some names. For example, the Seven Sister, Southern Cross, or the Belt of Orion. For us, is Llamañawi. And also, according to my cosmovision, for us is the Llamañawi. There is a snake, there is Puma, and Makoto, Polka, many names, you know. That's it. Waiki, you want to say something, or I'm going to continue?
Oh yeah, always wanted to say something. With the Wilbert, with the condor, there's also another name. Well, I do want to start by saying it's really beautiful what you're saying about the Tarapai Pacha. I feel that that's the whole opening of many people coming to the Andean culture and to the Andean wisdom because there's a willingness, there's an interest to open up to new ways of understanding ourselves. And the Caro and you from the Andes, among others, other teachers have been so generous in your sharing that you meet the desire to come together and to open ourselves up to our own knowing and give us ways that we can understand our inner cosmology, our inner ways of being. So I really think the Tarapai Pacha, the time of meeting ourselves again, is very crucial to understanding what time that we share. And as I understand it, the Maskai Pacha, that's something to aspire to. That's after we've met ourselves. That's after we've embodied ourselves and integrated new wisdom. And when we're accessing the Hanak Pacha, I wonder if you could comment a little bit about the difference between Hatun Kuntur, the condor, and another name for it, Apuchin. Is it the same, or is there a different concept with Apuchin?
Yeah, okay. Like that you say, you know, the condor has different kind of names, depending in how you are going to choose the condor. For example, it's not just a Hatun Kuntur, great condor, no? Apuchin, the god, you know? Rachi, the cleaner and the spiritual cleaner to the people. Auki, the best apu who's going to take care of our animals. That's the concept, Also, condor has, many, many names. The same thing happened with the puma and also happened with the snake, So, yeah, this is the names that we, but, but I think in general, people who are learning can use the contour because, they have to know exactly, for example, like that I tell you, Aoki, the, is the, is the, is the spirit who take care of the animals. Rachi, for example, Rachi, always looking for our people, things like that, Rachi. And there are contour Apuchin, contour Auki, Hatun Auki, Apu. Sometimes my people says Apu because they compare with the god. That's it. Yeah, different names. But like that I told you in my conversation, we come now with different names, but it's same, no problem. No, don't be worried about that. Contour Apuchin, Auki, Rachi, for example, Apu, so no problem. But you can say just a contour is better. Contour, contour, contour Apuchin.
And one of the things that you mentioned before is the eyes of the Yama, the Yama Nawi. Could you explain that a little bit as an access to the upper world? Because that's unfamiliar to a lot of people.
Okay, Llama Ñawi, according to the Cosmovision, Andean Cosmovision, if you want to see the sky, there is a perfect llama, but that one you can see just in April, May, and part of June, because in this time the world is in different places, so you can see you have opportunity to see that. Llama Ñawi, because and the llama is looking always to the north, it's not to the east, always looking for the north. And according to my lineage and the tradition is because the llama provide you in three things. The llama is going to be your transportation. The llama is going to be your food, and also your llama is going to provide you for your clothing, for the vestments. So we use the llama for three things, and always we honor it in our ceremony and also in our healings. For example, in our ceremony we use the llama fetus, and also we use the llama fat. Is because we need the energy of this llama, because if you can see like a special way to the llama is providing you to survive in your life. That is why that we put into the ceremony. So how I told you, the llama fetus and also the llama fat we use in our ceremony. Of course, in your place is not going to be allowed to have a llama fetus and also llama fat, but somehow we can represent, for example, in some special crackers, or just for example, how you can make your fat honey with flour, with any flour you can make, and you can just like fat. The important things that one has to come from the Mother Earth, right? So that's the llama, that is according to my lineage. The llama for us is something special. For example, if something bad happened in the world, for example, big dry season or very bad raining time, what we have to do is make a great ceremony and sacrifice the black llama. The black llama, color black, according to my tradition, is the best cleaner, so that's why the spirit of the black llama will help to change this bad weather. Is that clear?
Yeah, I know in the despachos, of course, we have the Yama fetus, and I find it interesting looking up in the sky in the southern hemisphere that usually we think of star points, but in the Andean tradition, sometimes it's the spaces, like the spaces within the Chicana or the spaces within the Yama, point to the Yama itself. So it's all about the star, calling the star nations Hatun Chaska. Wilbert, are you saying or suggesting that each one of us choose a star or a star cluster to be in particular relationship with, or are you saying call all of them that you can sense? What is your suggestion there?
Okay, look, according to my tradition, for example, my grandfather says you know, that you can work with a specific star. That's mean, how you can feel with the spirit of the star. That don't have. I cannot decide which is gonna be your great star, but you have to see the star and which one is so good with you. For example, with my grandfather was the seven sisters, which is the Mama Koto. And now also for example, for me, it's so nice, and I work a lot with Mama Koto, because the Mama Koto, the seven, the Pleiades, and the Pleiades, teach us how we can make it with cultivation, how we have to do the real integration with our wife and with our people. So these things teach you the Mama Koto. It's like more or less like a Southern Cross, but much more deeply I consider, is the Mamakoto, because the seven sisters also means the seven colors of the rainbow, the seven water, the 7 meters to go deeply to the heart of the Mother Earth, like these things, the seven intentions that person can have, like these things, So that's why that I work with this Makoto, and for me it's so powerful. But there is a lot of people who work with a number four, which is the Southern Cross, east, west, and north, so Antisuyo, Contisuyo, Chinchasuyo, Colosiyo, because the center of this, in the center of the Southern Cross, you are going to find a small star, and this small star is going to be your great integration place. But this great integration place, to go inside, we need to be clear. We need to be in good balance. Otherwise, will be impossible to go inside of that. And if we go inside, we will be okay and will be great. And a lot of people, for example, believe in the Orion of the Bell or in the Llama Ñawi, because they say, according to my tradition, the llama has a special eyes, because to live in the high places, he needs to be attention with the animals who's gonna attack, and he can see, or she can see, the puma or another, like a hawk, like a fox or coyotes, like 50 or 100 feet or farther. The eyes of the lamb is not so good, but during a night they can see farther, at least 500. If the place is good, 1,000. 1 kilometer. So that's why they survive in the high mountains. Otherwise, can be done. So that's why that we choose that one for the eyes, and because the llama is going to be good for our daily life, because we are going to eat, because we are going to have clothes, and we are going to have transportation. That's right. So like that, according to this, you have to decide which is going to be a star, and which star can do the number one, which is the Inti Taita, and Inti Taita, I mean Father Son. And if you're going to be also with the two, also you can go with the couple, Yananting Masinti, which is the Inti Taita and Mamaquilla, the two of them. So it's your decision. That's going to be your decision from your person, how nice you are with the stars, and you can just decide which with which star to work. But if you are not sure, if you are not you are not okay with this, that's fine, no problem. You can just work with the Chaskakuna, which means the star nations. A lot of people, for example, I have seen Francisco and Pascual, for example, they call just the Chaskakuna. That means they are calling like a plural way, Chaskakuna, star nations, like Juan Pablo in my place, like Inés in my place, like Liberata in my village. They say just Chaskakuna. That's
Wilbert, I think this is really interesting how you're going to reference to sacred numbers, because I know numbers within the Karo cosmology are very important, and I believe what you just said was, if you're drawn to a number one, or a singular focus, Inti Taita, or the sun, would be what to call. For a two, would be the balance of male and female, Inti Taita, Mama Kia, the moon. For four, the Chicana, the Southern Cross. And for seven, Mama Koto, the Pleiades. Is there a reference for three? One,
Oh
two.
yes, this is
That,
uno, dos, tres. This is the kolka, the kolka, the keeper of the crops, the keeper of the feeds or the foods of the animals.
Okay, so you're talking about the storage structure. How does that appear in the stars?
Uh, okay, there is three stars which is saying like a glass. It's so important that it's like a glass. Okay, let me show. Oh, kolka, that's it. But
Yep.
Q instead of a K, Q. Kolka.
Oh, Golka. Thank you, Wilbert. Got to get my
Kolka.
flashcards right.
When you're going to come to Cusco, a lot of tour guides, they're going to talk about the Colca. For example, in Pisac, for example, in Ollantaytambo, when you're going to be in the ruins, they're going to tell you, look, this mountain, and you're going to see 2, 3, or 4 houses. And what is that one? They are Colcas, they say. The Colcas is the keeper of the crabs, but in the sky represent the same thing, but also the keeper of the foods of the animals. Because, in the places, in the fields, you don't have like special houses, but how you can store is just that you will find always a tree or chachacoma or polylepis in the form of the cup, so then you can put all the food from the animals and you can keep for years. But the distance from this place will be 2 meters or 3 meters up, and then you can put the foods and for the animals. And also, the haba beans you can just put there if you have too much time to make harvest. And after that, when you have time, you are going to make the harvest. The important thing is that you're keeping these crops and foods for the animals in this kolka. So a lot of people work with that because they need reserve. Especially for the people who cannot absorb, the energies absorb, cannot have like open the hearts. They have to work with that. How they can keep it, this powerful energy, to have inside. They can deposit this great knowledge, this great love. It's very important also this star, because it's there because will help you to do that one. Will help you to have storage your love, storage the experience, and storage the energy.
So, Wilbert, just following up on this, is there a 5 and a 6 reference, or not so much? Like sometimes I think of the Southern Cross as being a 5 since there are 4 corners and then that center. Could that also be a 5, or is there another celestial
The
reference?
Southern Cross is one of them, which work with the 5 number. And
Yeah.
when we're going to talk about the 5, it's the great integration. In the Paco Hawaii, when you're going to be in the 4th, now in the Chacana, the Antisuyo, Contisuyo, Chinchasuyo, Collosuyo,
Yeah.
the next work is going to be, how make the number 5. And the number 5 is exactly the integration place. This is going to be, I say always, just for people who are going to further to be a shaman, and they're going to go to the number 6, and the number 6 will be place where we have a good balance, and that's the number of the shaman. And finally, if we can go to 7, will be nice, and the 7 is going to be the place of the alto misayo, but 6 is the pampa misayo, because we have already everything in our mind, everything that we are talking about, we have already this knowledge.
Is
But
there a star reference to number 6?
Yeah, maybe there's going to be some confusion in the 4 stars. I mean, for Southern Cross, why 5, why 4? I mean, because they show us like a compass first. That's the function of the compass, and we talk about the 4. But when we talk about the 5, this is the point. When we make the integration, this is the place where we need to be in good balance, the great balance. Of course, when we are going to be in good balance, when we are going to know everything great, we are ready to be a shaman. But that one you're going to know in the great learning time, which is the Kamachi time or the Mosok time.
So we're in the Kamachi time, right?
Yeah, well, we have to learn. We are right now, you and me, we are already Pacos. That means that we have already, we know already the Kamachi time.
Well, aren't we always learning though? Aren't we always in the
Right.
Kamachi?
Okay. I told you, every day will be time always to learn something more, something more.
That's why we come to your fascinating presentations, because we're in the Kamachi time, and we
Kamachi
want
time.
to fill out
Without A, just the Kamachi time. No, without A. Kamachi.
CHY.
Kamachi. CHY. That's it.
Okay.
Kamachi time. That's it. That's a very important Kamachi time. And a lot of people say that, in 1 day or 2 days or 1 year, I'm going to know. The Kamachi time is really a great time, a great learning time. So in this time, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So
Yeah.
that's why, that people, they are shamans, they are pacos, but they don't have too much energy to share, But let's give just a little bit more time and after that you'll be okay. We don't have to be rushed in these things because, along is gonna come much more, and after that you'll be okay. And to be a pacos is really always be open. You don't have to be something special. Be simple and be a nice person and be always ready person to help. Actually you have to do your own things, but you have to have time for you and time for people to help. That's it. And that will help you. That's a great value of the energy because that one will help you to grow much more in a spiritual way.
Wilbert, I wonder before we move into the Kai Pacha, if you could just give a summary, like why call the Hanak Pacha? When we open directions, why do we want to call the Hanak Pacha? And perhaps there are other questions here too, but why would you include that in particular?
Okay, it's easy to understand. Hanak Pacha is the god up there. According to my village, the Hanak Pacha is the god up there. But when we go up there, we find a lot of apus, a lot of great spirits, like star nations. That's it. But why we have, it's amazing. This. Okay, thank you for your question. Why we say Hanak Pacha, the time of the upper world? Because, without this, we cannot live. Just keep in mind that no sun, no star, no moon. This Hanak Pacha is not anymore. Believe me. It's going to disappear. No humanity. No animals, no plants, no nothing. How important is these three worlds? According to my tradition, in the bad seasons, like in the bad times, for some, especially when we have the big earthquakes, my ancestors, the first thing that they call is the Hanak Pacha. Because in Hanak Pacha is the Inti Taita, the father of the fathers. And because in Hanak Pacha is the god of the gods. I remember, for example, when we have a small, in 1985, my grandfather says, "Oh, Hanak Pacha Teite, oh, great father, Inti Taita. Oh, the god of, Hatun Taita, the god of the gods. Why you are giving this problem? Why you are giving this time for us? Why this difficult time? Why you are moving too much? Like this world," he says, when was an earthquake. So according to our lineage, it's a special thing. Where are the god of the gods? Where the god of the father of the fathers are there, and also the star nations. And we don't have to forget about the Mama Koto, and also about the Mother Moon, who represent the feminine. So like that, that's why that we call, and also why we are going to call, because the four star, the four regions, the four winds, the four sacred elements is there. And also when you are going to see the Southern Cross, it's not a special like a cross, but right now they do that cross. It's not like a cross, it's like a little bit, tiny left, and it's not exactly, like a compass, but it's a little bit, to the right. It has inclination, like I think it's like 5 radis. It's that size, like 90 has like 80 or 85. It's like
Yeah.
that.
What meaning does that have for you? That
Yeah,
it's not.
because and that one, because Cusco is the center, and if you're gonna go to Cusco, it's not like if you talk about Tawantinsuyu, it's not. It's a little bit like to the west,
Right.
and also the west is like to the north. It's not
Yeah.
like exactly cross. It's like this.
Right.
Okay, it's not like this.
Right.
It's not like this. It's like this.
Yeah. And
That's why the chacana. Chacana is like that's the chacana, and chacanas also, for example, in the fuels, we do chacanas. Do not cross to animals to your field. You just make a chacana. You put like a gate, and that's a secret, and the animals cannot go inside to your fields.
I just want to add one more thing as well, because there's some interesting chat going on, and the people that are viewing this later are not able to see the chat. So I just want to say that people have been saying, so no Hanakpacha, no life on Earth. That's one of the comments in the chat. And imagining life without the sun is impossible. We need our star nations to keep us alive. And the other thing that I wanted to ask too, is you had mentioned earlier that Yachai, Yankai, Munai were associated with the three worlds. So is it Yachai in the Hanakpacha?
Yes. Okay. Hanakpacha. Okay. Also, like that I told you in my pre-conversation that these three worlds also we can find in our body. This is Yachai, this is Munai, and this is Yankai. The navel. Okay. The navel. Okay. Yachai, Munai, Yankai.
Yeah.
That is Ukuko, Uma, head, Corazon, and the navel. Okay. And Quechua, Uma, Sonko, Cosco, Cosco. Okay. Cosco, the center of the body. So your question was, about the Hanakpacha, how it has relationship with the Yacha. Yes, of course. We believe too much that this great energy, the God of the gods, help us to have experience. And the Father of the fathers, help us to how to go, give us the way to go to this God of the gods. And that's why, and the star nations is going to be like a people who are going to go also help us with this experience, with a lot of experience that the star can have. It's like, the humanity, you and the God of the gods. It's like that relationship. But how, that's very funny. Oh, thank you for the question. How, how you can have experience, is because thanks to the humanity. If there's no humanity, no experience. What you are going to do alone if you have experienced nothing? You're going to be like a person who doesn't know nothing. And the humanity, that's why that according to our tradition, the huge star nations is like special energies who help you to go to the Father, and the Father will manage of that. The Father of the fathers. It's like a family. In the family, who's going to orient you? In the family, who's going to manage your house? The father or the mother is going to tell you, hey, you have to study, you have to be a professional like that. And finally, you're going to go to the experience with full experience. You go to the God, and the God, this energy will help you to you, and you're going to grow spiritual way. That's it. That's why that we go to Hanakpacha. And Hanakpacha, why we have to go in our ceremonies and healings is because, this is the great spirits who can come to us. Why we go? Because thanks to this upper world, we are here. Otherwise, we disappear. That's why that we go. But personal way, how we are going to go is like that I explained. The star energies, the Father of the fathers. And, when I say the fathers of the fathers, I'm talking also about the mother. Remember that in Star Nation, we have also feminine stars, like Pleiades and like Mother Moon. Please don't forget, don't confuse about that. And, if there is no mother, there is father. If there is no father, there's mother. Who's somehow, for example, myself and you, guys, you have experience. Your mother told you something. Hey, my darling, you have to do this, you have to do this. Your father also. It's like that one,
Okay.
But In our world, to be clear, you know, we go because the energy of, you know, the God of this gods is there. The energy, the knowledge of the fathers is there. And you know, the energy, you know, is in the people, but yourself. I don't know if you understand that, but you know, your energy you're going to make yourself. Like a lot of experience, deeply love, great integration, great balance. You are.
So Wilbur, just to speak briefly about Sami, isn't Sami the quality of energy that we find in the Hanakpacha? Is that a description of it, a name?
Not because, you
Not.
know, not because, you know, look, we know about the upper world. We know the Kaipacha and we know the Hupacha. And we prepare ourselves everything to be a healer. And like a healer, you are going to share with the people. The people come to you to have a Sami. We prepare ourselves to be a Paco, we are prepared to be a Sami. But what is the Sami? It's happiness.
Hmm.
When you're going to make everything, how are you going to feel? Sami, yeah, with Y end, please.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Why?
Okay, that's it. So when you prepare yourself and when you made it, you're happy or not happy? You're okay. It's like that one. Perfect, my brother. You
We're
made it.
learning.
Very good.
We're learning. We're in the
You are
Kamachi time.
learning too much Quechua with me.
That's why we're here, Wilbur. It's
This is
the sacred language.
You know? Sami is happiness.
Okay.
Happiness.
But that's not in the Hanakpacha?
No, it's not. Well, when you're going to go up there, is Hanakpacha, you'll be Sami, you'll be happiness, you'll be happy, you know.
Okay.
That's it. But, you know, remember, to go to be a Sami, to feel the Sami, you have to make yourself. I cannot make for you. I can give you the basis. I can give you the tools, but who has to make it? You are, and like a person, you know. Sometimes when you're gonna make it real, sometimes when you feel your challenge, after that comes the sun. That's the sun, the happiness. Of course, you have to be sun. I'm studying in the university. I got my graduation. I get finally my PhD. You know, that's my Sami. Finally, Sami myself. You know.
We're on our path. We're on our right path.
Right.
So I think unless there are other questions, perhaps it's time to move to a place we even may be more familiar with, the Kaipacha, the place we live.
Oh, beautiful. Kaipacha is the best that we can have. It's the nice gift of the universe to have a Kaipacha. Because in this Kaipacha is the love. Because in this Kaipacha, first of all, we have to honor it, you know, the Yananti Masinti. The beautiful combo for the continuation of the humanity, for the new generations. That's very important. And after that, you know, we have to honor it also. Who are around, according to my tradition. How we have to recognize who are around you, everything which is close to you. For example, the mountains, the rivers, the animals, the mountains, everything. Because the Kaipacha is the place where we can see how people can have a real life. A lot of people right now, we have right now in the world a big problem. They don't recognize themselves. They just follow the high ego, and this high ego, sometimes we have very big problems. Like that way, they give us a lot of kuchas. Okay, that's a big problem right now. Why we are having this problem is because a lot of people, they are empty spiritually. They are not good in good balance. They follow just the bad ego, which is high ego. That's no good. But you know, this is the Kaipacha.
Okay.
Kaipacha is the place where we can learn, the place where we can share our love, our knowledge, and our energy, and we can give the medicine. But the medicine can be not like plants, herbs, or something like that. The medicine can be also the words, and a small word can change the, you know, your life. Kaipacha, the time of the life, el tiempo de vivir, no? The Kaipacha, the time of this place, the time of the Mother Earth. We know like Pachamama.
I feel that's really profound, Wilbert. In the studies, I've felt that there's been a little bit of de-emphasis on the Kai Pacha, you know, always only wanting to go to the Hanak Pacha. And we've heard a very beautiful description of why go there. And yet to bring the knowledge of the Achai, of the Hanak Pacha, to our life in the Kai Pacha seems like, and fully live here and to receive experience, like you're saying, that feels very important to not lose sense of the moments of our life, to be fully integrated within the Tawantinsuyu, with the life right here. And what you said at the beginning of the Kaipacha discussion, that this is the place of Munai, this is the place of love. That's quite important, it feels.
Yes, because you know, the Yananting Masinting. That is why in our ceremonies, also in our healings, we have to use the Yananting Masinting condor feather, the Yananting Masinting stone, the Yananting Masinting, you know, all is going to be Yananting Masinting, which is, you know, always honoring the couple. And that's why that we see the love. Because, you know, if you talk about the Yananting Masinting, always we are talking from the female and male. And where is no love, you know, but for that, for the integration, is very important. Have a deeply love. Because when I talk about the deeply love, it's not like I love you, you love me. With the words, I can say, I love you, but it's not like this. The deeply love is how nice you can love yourself. That's the deeply love. And that's what we can share. And also in this Kaipacha, it's not just, you know, how I told you, it's not just that the people also, like that I told you, who live around, yeah, with whom you are connected. You know, like you say, the four regions, which is in Antisuyo, Contisuyo, Chinchaysuyo, Colisuyo, and also this great four elements of the nature, which is the, Wilcanina, Wilcahuayra, Wilcayacu, and Wilcaalpa. The nice four directions. And the same time, like a person, we represent also that. Don't forget that one, please. I don't know if you understand, but that one. You know, like a person also, you know, like a human, like a person, like woman or man, we represent these three worlds. Yache, Munay, Yankei, or Costco. No? Yache, Munay, no.
Wilbert, could
Uma, Sonko, Costco. That one, please. No. That's very important to know for the Pacos and for the healers, because when you are going to do your healings, you have to do these things also. You have to give this energy. You know?
Wilbur, could you write in the chat the names for the elements?
Okay, right now, no problem. Wilcanina, Wilcahuayra, Wilcayacu, or sometimes they say Unu, and Wilcaalpa. Wilcaalpa. Listo. Wilcanina, Wilcayacu, Uno, and Wilcaalpa. That's it.
Okay. And Wilca is sacred, right?
Wilca sacred. It says a sacred fire, sacred wind, sacred water, and sacred let's say, suck with the ground, suck with the
Ground.
clay or ground or Mother Earth. That's it. So in our ceremonies also, always I say that, when we go, for example, in all, like in all over your ceremonies, sometimes maybe you are not gonna have time, but, try to call all these spirits. When I say, for example, all the spirits, why you are going to go to the Wilcanina is the best cleaner. And when you're gonna make your ceremony and you're gonna burn it, perfecto. That's it. Guaira uno alpa. Perfect.
Perfecto. Perfecto mundo.
Can I ask you to say once again, it's fire, wind, what's the...
Nina is fire. Guaira is wind. Wilcayacu, water. And Wilca alpa, the ground.
Thank you.
Okay. It's very important. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to explain a little bit. Why Wilcanina? Wilcanina is the best cleaner. But look, on the same time very dangerous. Wilcanina, when we are going to our ceremonies, how is going to help us? All the intentions, the bad intentions, nice intentions, is going to be burned. And by the smoke, is going to transmit to the upper world. Let them out to the upper world. This is the intention that they do. That's it. That's why so Wilcanina. But why I say dangerous? Because if you are going to use the Wilcanina for bad things, you are going to have problems. For example, the bad Wilcanina is when the lightning produced the big problems in the mountains, for example.
Yeah.
But here it's not allow this problem. Always someone made it, this fire. And that's why that they're burning all the mountains. But maybe in Australia, I think in some of the places in the world, there is a lot of really hot the weather, and sometimes along they burn it, the fire. And for that, we have to do much more big ceremonies. But, in Peru, for example, we don't have this problem. Always someone made it that one. That's why I say dangerous. That's why in August, when everything is like dry, my grandfather says, be careful with the fire. Be careful with the fire. Sometimes, we cook in the fields or not in our house when we are taking care of our animals, we can make some cookings, and that's why you have to be careful, because if you're going to have problems, that is going to be open the fire and you're going to make problem to the mountain. And when you make problem to the mountain, you are not just destroying, plants. You're going to destroy a lot of lives, like birds, like animals, like insects. It's a huge problem. That's why that we consider so Wilca.
So Wilbert, I think that's very important to hear that that fire can get out of control. It can be dangerous, and wouldn't you say that a Paco is essentially a keeper of the fire, a keeper of the flame of the lineage, a keeper of the flame of our spiritual path? Do you think of the Paco in that way, as a keeper of the fire?
Yes, the keeper of the fire. Yes, of course. Why the keeper of the fire? Because, he believed too much with the fire, and he works a lot of also with the fire. Because how I told you, the fire. Why, for example, when they do the ayahuasca, they smoke, for example, the cigarettes or tobacco. It's because, they're working with the fire. That's it. Okay. So fire, because how I told you, is going to be the cleaner. Right. Because you're going to transmit by the smoke to the upper world. Some way, it's not going to be just in your room. If you're going to open, it's going to try to go outside of that, and it's going to transmit to upper. That's it.
Okay.
For example, I don't smoke, but I believe too much in fire, but I don't smoke. But how I told you, in some of the regions, like in the jungle, when you're going to go there, a lot of people, the maestros, we say here, no shamans, the maestros, always they smoke a lot,
So, as far as the Kaipacha goes, it seems like one of the most important archetypes are the Apus themselves. Is that right?
Well, archetypes, that is for me, it's not like archetypes, because when we talk about the animals, first of all, we have to talk about the Guntur,
Okay.
and we have to talk about the puma. But for example, in puma, we choose, the special word, which is choquechinche. It's like a brown-black color puma, a special puma. And also we say the great serpent, the machahue, or Sachamama, or finally Amaru. These three names, is it's like a special spirit. Like why we are going to choose, for example, the condor is going to be, by this condor, we are going to let her know to the upper world what intention we are asking for. And he will help us to connect with the upper world.
Mm-hmm.
And also with Puma. Why Puma? Because this is the god of the energy, the Puma, because he's ready. Okay. But for that, our energy must be, to connect with this energy has to be so clean, because always you cannot believe, the chocachinche or the Puma, he's ready night and day. He or she doesn't sleep too much. Actually, they are sleeping, but they're in 5 senses. That is why that they can feel, and they have a great vision at night that you can catch for food. That is why that a lot of people, they use the teeth of the puma like the saquet, and maybe some here from the head or from the tail, they use also like a saquet. And why for example, to Sachamama, Amaru, or great serpent, because represented the fertility, because always is underworld. A lot of people, so but what happened, from snake that they live in the jungle? Of course, but we say Sachamamas. Sachamamas means, the mother of the trees. Okay, but we use like a special Amaru, because this is the fertility. The Amaru is the energy that we have to go to ask, have a good production, not just for production, not just for the crops, also for the animals, also for the humanity. A lot of women cannot have babies. Okay, let's go to the spirit of the Amaru. Amaru will help us to make real our intentions. But somehow, the Amaru is going to manage what kind of medicine we can give to these ladies to have babies. And we have here in this part of the world, we have special plants and flowers and roots to drink and fix that one. That's it.
Wilbert, I've heard that the puma is a special ally to the shaman or the Paco. Would you say that that's true? Are there qualities of the puma that are important to embody for the Paco?
Of course, because how I told you, represent the energy. For that, how I told you, from where comes the energy? Yache muna yankai. Yache your good experience. Your munai, the deeply love. But when you're going to have the deeply love and you have a lot of experience, these two special sacred point, we can say these special things are going to have somehow the great relationship, the great interchange. And that one is going to make the energy. And this energy is going to give you option to have a yanke. That's why they say yanke. Because a lot of energy and great love what you are going to have? You are going to have a great energy. And once you have a great energy, you'll be ready to work. And this work, what you are going to do this one? You know, you are going to have a great relationship with the people. And this is the aini. Okay? Yache, Munei, Yankei. These three things. Next is going to be the aini. You have great experience. You have beautiful love. And you have powerful energy. What's the next? The great relationship, because you know how to do, you know, this great relationship with the people. First of all, will be with the family, and after that will be with the village, and finally with the world, which is the Tercimuyo.
Could you speak, Wilbert, of the importance of the Apus, calling mountains, calling the Apus in the Kai Pacha? Tell us more about the Apus and what that truly means to call them.
Just a minute, just a minute. Just a minute, okay, just a minute.
I love the explanation of the Yankai and Munai, bringing them together, which allows you then to create action. You have the knowledge and the love, and then that informs the action that you take in life, and that the action that you take in life then creates Aini. It's beautiful flow.
And also, you know, like a Paco's, thank you, question, Wakey. You know, like a Paco's, you know, it's not just the, you know, the four sacred spaces, the four winds, or upper world here or underworld. And also there is the four regions. And also, like in the beginning of my conversation, I told you, there's the Apus. Apus is the great spirits from the mountains. Apu is the great spirit of the lagoon, of the lake, of the ocean, of the great rivers, of the great springs. And also the spirits for us is going to be, you know, trees. The old trees can, how nice can help you, the trees. It's so beautiful that way. So like in the beginning of my conversation, I told you, in the Kaipacha is the person, but you know, the person in good and great relationship with everything which is around. And that's why that sometimes I always say that, not sometimes, always I say that, you know, you have to honor the moment, the day that you are, and trying to receive the great help from these spirits. And talk about Apus. Here in Cusco, for example, we have great Apus. According to my village, we believe too much. Here in Cusco, for example, we have Pachatusan, the keeper of the world. The Guanacauri, the place where the laws has to be in good balance. Mama Simona represented the Mother Earth, the great mother who takes care of the Cusco city or the Cusco city. Apusenka, for example, the great mountain, who always announced the rain, who always announced the good life. Picol, you know, the mountain where the young people can go and they can receive the energy to make a good integration. And finally, Pachatusan, you know, the keeper of the world, is like a good doctor to take care of us. Sasai Waman, the place, the beautiful and the special spiritual temple. Machu Picchu, the great realization of the humanity, how we can make the city like this, you know. And also we go to the Apurímac River, my village. The Apurímac is the masculine river in this region. And Wilcamayo, which is, you know, in the Sacred Valley of the Incas. This is feminine river. Now, like this, we go also. And we have to go also, oh, that's nice, the hummingbird, the royal hummingbird. But when we go to the royal hummingbird, that is really very nice, because immediately we are talking about the ancestors. Why we have to go to the ancestors? Because somehow, especially the people who are not anymore with us, and they are great healers. They were maybe Pampa Misayo, they were Kuraja Kulik, or finally Alto Misero. And we need call to them also because, they have a great medicine that to ask to them, and the knowledge and the love and the energy that they have before, we need also that. So when we go to the spirits of the Condor Mountain or all this I then mentioned, we are not trying to call the physical part, or for example, Juan Pablo, who's already know, Juan Pablo can be with us. Of course, we're going to mention the name Juan Pablo, but we are asking the spirit part of this person, and they need come with their own knowledge that they have. For example, I call to the Ausangate. Ausangate coming with us. We are calling the spirit part of the Ausangate, but on the same time, we are saying, okay, we need your knowledge, we need your love, and we need your energy and your medicine to take care my healing, to take care my ceremony. Like this, we go to different kind of spirits, also to the condor, also to the puma, and also to the snake. And of course, when we are going to go to the four winds, we have to do also the same thing. I was trying to explain, excuse me, that, about the four winds, we were in the Hawaii fire and Hawaii Yaku and finally wind, So I don't know if we can just finish because, the conversation took us another times, but, about this four aqua fire, is that okay or not?
Sure. These conversations can go in any direction they go in. It's always wonderful, whatever direction it goes in. There is a question in the chat that I want to ask, so it gets answered, which is, do the directions correspond to the worlds in any way? And why do you start in the east when you open directions? Some people start in the south and wondering why you begin in the east.
Okay, we don't have to worry where you're going to start. But, I think my grandfather and my father teach me that, always we start in the east. That was my experience. And when I went to the Kero Nations also, some people do it that way, start with the east and they go, to the four directions. When I asked it to my father, why to the east, he said, no, there is the sun. This is the principal thing, because it's the best cleaner, it's the best doctor, because every day is cleansing everything. And that's why, and if you're gonna come here and you go to the small village, they are gonna, if you're gonna invite, for example, one beer, they are not gonna say, okay, they're gonna say probably thank you, and they're gonna go to the east direction and say thank you. So that's why that we start in the east direction. But if someone is telling you start for the south, it's because apparently the healers and the laijas come on the pacos, comes from the south part. So that's a problem for that, But according my knowledge, according my lineage that I received, in my village is east, is the important. For example, if we are very a hurry, we are not going to go call to the four directions, just to the east direction, one drop, and that's it. Some people like this also, east, south, north, and west. And they say Pachamama a little bit, and they blow into the apple. That's the sixth also, okay? Yeah. Look, this is the sixth, also, the second place, when you are doing this, if you have opportunity to this, you have to do like just like this, east, you go that, south, north, south, west, north, and you invite to the Mother Earth, and with your fingers, you can just say that, blow it everywhere. That's it. Okay, that's
Wilbert, I want to clarify something else in the question. It was talking about the three worlds applying to the directions, and as I see it, that we have the Tawantinsuyu, the four areas or regions of this world, of the Kaipacha. And then we combine that with the worlds, the upper world, this world, and the lower worlds. It feels like that's an additional energy template upon the Tawantinsuyu, upon the four worlds. Would you say that that's the way you see it, or do you see? The question was, do you see the worlds applying to the directions themselves? I always thought that the worlds lifted up and descended, made more full the Tawantinsuyu, or the different areas themselves. How would you describe this?
We are here in Caipacha, okay? So when we are here in Caipacha, we have a lot of, like that I told you, we have a lot of spirits. So since we have a lot of spirits, we need to call all of them, all of them. Try to integrate our spiritual ways, to help us with the intention that we are doing. If today is my ceremony, I have to let know all these spirits, my intention that I'm gonna do today in my ceremony or my healings. The intention could be different things, maybe for my wedding, or maybe for reproduction of my animals, or maybe have a good harvest, or many, many things, But the idea to have the real answer from the, I don't know if I'm doing well, because I don't understand very well the question.
Yeah.
What I'm doing, calling to the spirits, is now to let them know my intention of my ceremony, of my healing. But to make it real, this situation, here is the key. You need to make a great munaiki. What is that one? How nice you are going to go to the spirits, which words you are going to use, and also how nice is going to be your heart with them. How nice is your energy to go to them. And finally, what kind of knowledge you have to go to the spirits and call that one. Because if you are like a person, simple person, that you don't have any preparation of this, you cannot call humpy, no. You have to have your own knowledge, your own love, and your energy to go to them. So the way to go to the spirits will be the best that you can do to make real your callings. That is why, the hampui is not just a small, simple word. The hampui is something much more. Come be with us. It's like say, hey, come, help me, make real. It's like a special thing. Hampui is really nice word. Maybe the translation is not exactly, but you can say, come with me, come be with us, and make real my intentions. It's like that one.
Wilbert, is that the way to spell Humpway, or no?
Hampui, no, instead of E-Y, hampui.
Why? Humpuy?
Yeah, that's it. It's in the chat. Hampui.
Okay.
And the word munaiki is about the love in your heart that goes into the intention.
The munaiki is like a special thing from you. That's how nice and beautiful you are. Not just with you, also with the rest of the ambient.
Okay, I want to say a tiny
It's
story.
a special world from you to go. It's your world. But like a Paco, you need to know how to go to them. For example, I cannot go to the condor like that. I go same to another one. But let them know my intentions could be good. For example, if my feeling is much more to the four winds, I have to go. Oh, great four winds. Clean that one and help me to make real my intention. Clean the bad things and make real my intention. It's like that. It's also beautiful, In Quechua is very nice. That's nice, Chuyanche means cleansing, make pure. And after that, Saminche, the Saminche blessing. And after some time, protect them, protect these people, protect my patient. Oh, it's nice, it's very much beautiful. That's it.
Okay, so my one little story about Munaiki is I was
Always in the end of state
yeah.
why
Oh, why?
Munai.
Okay, Munaiki. Okay, thank you. Is that I was traveling with Don Francisco, and we went to Iowa, and he's a master of corn, as you might imagine, and he saw the corn in the field, and he just like gasped and said, Munaiki. For him, it was like Munai in motion, Munai in action, Munai in manifestation. He was just because he's used to corn in the Andes, much smaller, but in Iowa, so lush, so full of life, so full of expression of love. And his comment was,
Yeah,
Munaiki.
yes, you're talking about the take.
Yeah,
That's the take, the nice the corn, which is going to be the best keeper of our intentions. And sometimes we do with 4 lines, with 2 lines, and with 3 lines also, and also with 7 lines. Thanks for your question. That's very good to know.
okay.
That's in your ceremony. That's in your ceremony. Yeah, take. That's great.
Okay. All right. It feels like even though we live in the Kaipacha,
So
there's so much to
we,
explore here. I think we need to go to the Uhupacha.
okay, so
Which,
when we say about take, we have to say, oh, the Munaiki.
okay.
Munaiki means all your nice intentions, all your nice wish is gonna go to this, and it's gonna be the keeper, like a taka is gonna keep, and because you are gonna live around the coca leaves, because you are going to live around in your ceremony, especially around. You are gonna put the beans, you're gonna put in the front the representation of the water, your lama fetus, the representation of the Mother Earth, but in the center is going to be your take. And this take, if you don't have corn, you can represent also with apple, with 2 flowers up, and that's going to be your take. I think someday when we are going to do a ceremony, I'm going to let you know which is take, which is the representation of the Mother Earth, and which is the Lama Virus, and how you have to put, all the orders. That's why.
Wilbert,
Everything
Wilbert,
will go.
our next session is going to be a despacho. In the first of the year, we're going to have a despacho for the
Of course,
Shaman's
we have to do
Directory.
it. We have to do it. We have to do it. So it will be nice. That's going to be for the world.
That's for the world too. Yes.
Yeah.
And that will be for people just to mark your calendars. That will be Saturday, January 14th. That we'll be doing a despacho for the new year.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. So let's go to the last one, the Ujupacha. I think you're
Yes.
writing right. Ujupacha is like this. Ujupacha, Ujupacha, Ujupacha. Okay, this is the Ujupacha. The time of the lower world. Time of the lower. Time of the lower. Ujupacha is the great part of the trilogy, which is Hanakpacha, Kaipacha, and Ujupacha. When we talk about Ujupacha, we are talking about the deeply part of the Mother Earth. And the deeply part of the Mother Earth is not just like upper, it's really very, very deep. According to my lineage, we learned that 7 meters down, this is the virgin ground, and there is the place where we can, where it's gonna be cleaned, all the bad, all the huchas, all the bad energies. Why we put our ceremony, for example, some ceremonies that we do to the Ujupacha? Because, we are saying to the Mother Earth, please clean it, this one and make real our askings, make real our intentions. When we do a ceremony, always we have an intention. And we do the ceremony because, for example, we want to be happy. And of course, when we are going to do, for example, a wedding ceremony, we are going to ask to be happy in the future. But, to be in the future, what we are going to ask first? Because, you can do the ceremony and you can say, okay, Tracy and Wilbert, they're a couple, or it's an example, of course. Okay, they're going to be a couple, and they did a nice integration, nice life, loving forever, have babies, everything. But, if you are doing this, it's not going to work. What do you have to do the first? The first one will be, okay, today, X person and Y person is going to make the integration. Please, Mother Earth, help me to clean to these boys, to this boy and to this girl, the heart, the knowledge, the energy. And after that, make a real great integration. Because they need to be together forever. Viña y causa, the Viña y causa is forever life. That one give.
Could you put that in the text, in the chat?
Okay. Viña y causa. Viña y causa. The Viña y causa. That's it. Give us this. And after that, you are going to say everything nice that you can say, nice integration, nice couple, to have babies, to have a good job, and, they have to have a good dialogue, no more discussions. Instead of a discussion, practice the dialogue, something like that, you're going to let them out to the spirits, But the Mother Earth is going to clean that. For the wedding ceremony, we cannot burn it. We have to live to the Mother Earth.
Okay.
Because he's going to be keeping your life, because he's going to give you much more nice causa, Viña y causa. That's it. Forever nice life. That's it. But on the same time, when we talk about Uhupacha, we are talking about the fertility represented by the Amaru or the snake or the Sachamama. Everything is going to be down of the Mother Earth. Where we are going to put the seeds if you want to have corn, if you want to have rice, where are we going to put? We are going to put in the air, we are going to send to the Hanapacha. We are going to send to the Mother Earth. There will be the beginning of the life of surviving. You cannot believe, it's amazing, my tradition, When I talk, I always love to explain this part because, where the beginning start, all that humanity is in the foods. If there is no food, if we don't have corn, if we don't have potatoes, what we are going to eat? The llamas, the animals, the birds, the hummingbird, condor, everything, what's going to eat? Nothing. It's a special lineage, The condor eat animals, they clean the animals, but the animals, what they eat? The straw, the plants, but the plants doesn't come from the air. They come from Pachamama. That is why the Uhupacha is so important. The beginning of the life. The fertility place. In my previous conversation, I told you why represented the snake, the fertility. If you can see all the time, mostly of the snakes are in the Mother Earth, and they are always in the connection all the time with the Mother Earth. That's why. Normally they sleep on the Mother Earth, down of the Mother Earth, and they are in contact with them. That's why. And also why they represent, the beginning of the life, because, normally the most of the serpents, they change clothes each year, and they begin again the life. Is that one? All of us, we would like to begin with the life each year, but sometimes we don't do that. We cannot do that. But let's go to the spirit, to the snake, to have this kind of life, to change always, to sheep always, each year if you are doing something bad. But for that, recognize acceptation, believe more yourself, and go to the spirits and to help us to do that. That's it, the Upacha. In some of the books, maybe you're going to read about the Upacha, that there is a small people. Also, my grandfather and my father say that one, because in the underworld there is a small people. So I don't know if that's true or not, but but what we are sure is that the Upacha can send us also bad disease, but yeah, so sorry. Okay, that's it. Okay, so sorry. I put already off, but I don't know why. Sorry.
I think
So
we
what,
should all get the Andean flute ringtone. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a
It's
good
time
one.
to. I think it's time to do music, huh? Okay, that's it.
Wilbert,
So
when you have a moment, could you speak about hucha, unusable energy, and how that serves Pachamama, or the relationship between hucha that we may collect and Pachamama's ability to transform that energy?
taking the hucha. What's the hucha? Hucha. That's right. The hucha is the bad, really very bad energy. But who make the hucha? Ourselves will make the hucha. That is the big problem with the humanity, that we cannot accept that sometimes that we make hucha, we don't want to accept. That is why that I talk about this, accept. And you accept, you are doing very well. You are making beautiful value in your person. You are doing beautiful value in like Paco or like Shaman or like healer. You are doing much more. But like a person also, like healers and like Pacos and like Shamans, we are in the obligation to help to the people to accept the huchas. Because if they don't accept, that will continue, and each time is going to be like that circle, and they will be there. But why we make the huchas? Always I say, we are humans, and we are vulnerable for everything. Like Wake, like Trisha, myself, we can make huchas. But if you accept that one, okay, let's clean that. I told you already how you can clean. Maybe doing a healing, maybe a ceremony. According to my lineage, we do a lot of ceremonies. So, like that one, we can put clean our huchas. Huchas is not like the bad actions that you're going to do. It's a lot of things. Be careful about the sentimental things. That's a big pain. Don't make sentimental pains to the humanity. Don't make emotional pains to the humanity, because that's going to be the bad hucha, which is going to be with you. It's going to be your heavy backpack all your life. Actually, you're going to clean and clean, but your acceptation is not going to be so easy. To accept, like to person that you did and yourself, is going to be the hucha forever. Be careful with that. My father always says, the pain, sentimental, emotional pains, is difficult to clean. The famous psychology or psychotherapist, they can talk you a lot of things, but it's with me also, I can tell you one my experience. One person come to me and I say, I don't love myself. I don't love anybody. I don't love my father. I don't love my brother. I don't love my mother. Oh, yes. And I remember exactly what my father says. And I said, no, what happened in your childhood? Who was make abuse with you? My father. Okay. That's a big, a big emotional thing. But what was the abuse, that each morning has to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. But if she doesn't, wake up, she abused with the pulse or with something, kicking, like, all the time, at least on the week, 3-4 times, he must crying because, the pain, physical pain was more. And finally, the emotional pain was much more. And we worked like 1 year about the acceptation of the situation. And for that, I asked to her, please forgive to your father. And you need to ask to forgive to your father. And each other they have to make a forgiven. But this forgiving, if they are in life, that's so beautiful. Take from the hands and say, forgive me for this, because I forgive you. Because, we can say, for example, if my father abused to me, I'm going to say, oh, my father 100%. It's not like this. In this problem, somehow you both are make this problem. So somehow inside of the problem, we need to make this forgiving from you and from me. Forgive me and I forgive you. That is a nice exercise, but if he or she are in life. But if they are not in life, okay, let's use the spirit of the hummingbird. And through this hummingbird, we are going to say, okay, my father, come, I'm here. I'm already here. I forgive you for this. But also I ask you, forgive me for this, please. Okay, but a lot of people don't want to do that because they hit too much. But if they are going to hit too much, they are making the egoism with themselves, and the egoism with oneself is not good. It's like that one. So how nice and beautiful is that life, if you can just put everything clear and everything nice, Of course, how I told you, accept to one person who might abuse, it's not easy, but we have to work in that because it's already in the past. Because, emotional and sentimental pains, it's not easy to clean. Okay, that is a hard job for healers, pacos and shamans. Probably you're gonna have also this problem, and that is the part that sometimes we don't want to touch, but we have to do that because that is the real life of the humanity. It's not just the fathers; it's also other people. Can be your boyfriend, can be your classmate or something like that.
Wilbert, I've really, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I remember you saying something about we're coming to a close. We have a few minutes left, but I remember you saying there was something about going 7 meters down to clear things. And I imagine that those are the bigger, deeper things that you need clearing. You need to be cleared, not the things that you could sort of easily clear in the moment. What are some kinds of things that you might go 7 meters down into the Ukupacha to clear?
Okay, thank you for your question, Tracy. Yes, like I'm a human, I tell you, I am not perfect. But, for example, in this situation, in a forgiving and also the acceptation, if the problem is big, we have to do 3 kind of despachos, 3 kind of ceremonies. First of all, will be the cleansing ceremony that we have to do, and live in the water. Could be in the lake, could be in the lagoon, or maybe could be in the ocean, or we can leave this despacho or this ceremony in the ocean, depending where you are closer. And that's going to be to cleansing, because we're going to cleanse into the person that make abuse and to yourself. Okay, but in this cleansing time also we're going to say, okay, the same thing, the forgiving, ask to this. And also another one, we are going to do ceremony to put in the Mother Earth with the same intention. And finally will be the last ceremony, to let her know to the Hanakpacha, Kaipacha, to the spirits. With that, we can help to accept the situation. And after that, it's going to depend on how the patient is going to gather in and then go further. How I told you, it's difficult to this part of, because sometimes I don't want to talk because I have 3-4 patients that I'm working that, they don't want to accept, because I hear too much. Okay, forget it. That's the only thing. But that is our work, how you say it's not easy, also our work.
I know there's a question here, and Tricia, you may want to pose that, but I just wanted to emphasize or reflect on the theme of cleaning that you're telling us about in the Hanakpacha, the condor, a good cleaner, in the lower world, the Uhupacha, Pachamama, yeah, good cleaner, and I feel like that's part of your message, to be clean, to be clear, to release impediments, release hucha. And it reminds me of the statement that you made earlier, is that calling sacred space in all its dimensions and its lower, middle, and upper worlds is achieving the great Aini, that you're bringing into balance the world and bringing in the allies to help you, calling in the great Aini. And I think that you're really making a meaningful opportunity for us to call in our allies, to do our cleaning, and to release ourselves from impediments so we can really do our work in the world. So I reflect on and I thank you for your special emphasis on the aspects of cleaning, and that we can be more available for the work that we're meant to do. Tricia, do you want to ask that question?
Sure. And I realize that we're almost out of time, but I will ask the question. And it seems like maybe we could plan another session where we just talk about healing and working with clients, because I think people would have a lot of questions about that. So we can put that in for a topic in the new year. But the question here, Wilbert, is if someone is still alive and they're not willing to come to a place of forgiveness, can you call in Hummingbird to ask for assistance?
No, no way. Hummingbird is for ancestors. And if the person is in life, much better. I say always that is a gift of the spirits, because we can talk directly with the person. Somehow we need to find how to meet with him or with her. And will be, because when you want to think about that, you're like a pack or like a healer or like a patient that you hear already your healer, because the first thing that he's going to do is have a special meeting. Maybe not exactly, he's not going to mention nothing, I want to meet because I want to talk with you because we have kids, or we have this relationship, kids, but somehow I have to talk with you. And somehow we have to, push to them to meet with us. And the nice thing is going to be how to do that. It's easy. It's easy activity. Thank you again. Hey, Bob, I love you. You love me. Somehow you love me. Somehow I love you before. But we have these problems. Please accept my forgive. But on the same time, ask you, forgive me, please. Oh my God, you cannot feel you cannot imagine how nice it's going to be this when you are going to talk about it. Of course, you have to live your piece of time, your kid time with him, with them, or with her, and that was going to be so good. Actually, maybe he's not giving you, he or she is not giving you the forgiving. I mean, the forgive, but you make already, but you touch the person who make abuse to you. How I told you, if you make the hucha, you and yourself, both are in this problem. It's not like to tell you, oh, Tricia, you make me abuse. I was the person that you make abuse. Yes, it was like that. But I am already part of this. That's why that we need now to forgive me and forgive you. That's it. I'm sure 99% is my fault. But this 1%, for this you have to go. to give you forgiven. But finally, how I told you, it's not like this. Because, somehow both of you are in this problem. Not just him, not just her, So that's nice. The nice thing he can do is somehow willing that he or she must come to one place or a cafe or restaurant and just to make 5 minutes. Actually, maybe he's gonna say, oh, but the first reaction, you know what they do? They sometimes they're upset. But normally when I have seen my patients, they're laughing, What? No, please accept my forgive. Give me your hands. That's it. And they will do it. He will do it. She will do it for sure. Because we give already the tools, because you have already the energy that we give you. So it's gonna be different. When you are gonna meet, maybe she's very acceptant, she's gonna come down.
Beautiful.
That's it. And doing this one, oh my God. How deep is going to do your change? How deep is you gonna shift? Your life's gonna coming back. It's born again. That's it.
Beautiful. Wake, any closing thoughts?
Thank you so much, Wilbert, as always, for delivering your messages with such sincerity, such heart, and from your teachings, from your father and grandfather, from Pachamama herself, and your willingness to share and be yourself with us. Very valuable on so many levels. So there's lots to think about today with the three worlds, and lots to come into relationship with our own path and our own way. And I appreciate your assistance, and I thank you on behalf of all of us for sharing.
Okay, so we are gonna now, what we are going to do, we are gonna close, and everybody, please, has to in mind and the heart and the energy that we are gonna say thank you to all these sacred places. Okay, we are gonna say thank you to all these sacred places. That is what I do when we always, close, because when we close, we are gonna say Hampu, not anymore, but we are gonna say, okay, thank you for coming here with us, no? Hampu, gracias, and also thank you to teach us, thank you to show us, and thank you to share us your path like that, okay? So everybody to the east, please, okay? Antiwaira, Tawantinsuyu, Kontora Puchin, Yiping Apukuna, Anyay Tete, Sumachtan Kunan Punche, Yazachuankiko. We have a greater learning. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your energy. We receive your blessing. And at the same time, we are receiving your protection for the rest of our lives. Thank you, thank you. Gracias. Anyay, Tete, anyay. To the south. Hola suyo, hola Waira. Lago Titicaca, Apo Sangate, anyay, Tete, anyay, sumasta kaida Chianquico. Ay, Ankaita con ella, Chaita. Kait sumasta con Anka, más Talibanquico. Sumasta Tete, Ari. Ya Chainico, una inico y Ankainico, sumasta con Anka, Osaninka. Campa, una iniquivan, Campa, Yankainiquivan, Campa y Yankivan. Shaman directory, Alinta Uyanka, sumasta Uyanka. All the case, añade. ¿Tú lo ves? Conti Waira, Conti Suyo, Mama Cocha, Mama Simona, Apu Kiro, Apu Yaure, añade, sumastan con aquella checho en Kiko. Kaya cheni kuman, kay munay ni kuman, kay lang kay ni kuman. Kunangka alintan purisako. Yang nikipi, son koy kipi, alintan te desako. Orpiche son coche, añe, ¡oh! Okay, honor. Chinche Guaira, Chinche Suyo, Yiping Apukuna, Estados Unidos, Canadá, Ampuichistete, México, Yiping Apukuna, Oregon, Ampuitete. Sumasta kuna que chay, kuiku que chaypi, hatun yeche, nikit hatun muna, hatun yanke. Alin purina ikupa, alin yanka na ikupa. Alguien tukuy yachay no yukanaykupa. Alguien tukuy munani yukanaykupa. Emiriwanki con kunanka kawsaynikuta. Emiriwanki con kunanka yachaynikuta. Orpiche son pochay. Añay, añay, gracias por todo. To the Mother Earth. Great Pachamamita, Santa Madre Tierra, gracias, gracias. Sumasta kunanka yachay, sumasta michiriwanki. Kunanka bichospan, sumasta kunanka mamaykan, takiwanki, sumas un pollo hatun su pollo. Kan sumah mama kanki, kan illa sumah mama kanki, hatun mama, sumasta kunanka iwariwanki. Yang nikita sumokita. Suntukita kichaywanki, gracias. Thank you to open us your heart. We were there and to teach, to learn everything that you have. Thank you to show us your great power. Your Kolpeñan and Kolpeñan Poreñan. Thank you for this. Olpitation. Añay, Pachamamita. Añay. Apua kantang katay sumahtan tetay ko na kachay. Hatong yaya sumahaya, warangka sotyo, ajitay sumahta tetay. Hindi tayo may mamangkilya. Yipin at kuna. Yipin chaskakuna. Hatong chakana, mamakoto, yamanyawi, puma. Hatong serpiente, hatong mayo, sumata ko na Jesus yung kumagay ko. Ipi kung kunangka, shaman director, ipi kakuna, sumakti yachay ko. Una inikita lang ka, inikita yachay inikita. Kunangka chaskikuy kung hatong kalpeh ko na ikupah, hatong muna inih ko na ikupah, sumak kalpa ka ng patay. Kawari chiway ko, hatong kausay ka ng pa. Sumakta kunangka, rona masi kunanta, yipin tersemo yung timpi, yan ang pangkiatay. Kang panyawi kiwang, kang payachini kiwang, kang pamunan kiwang, kang panyakiwang, alinta ko ng kami siya. Yiping apo ko na kay patapin na yata kang gis, Everest, Himalayas, yiping apo ko na sumatay ko na katay, kontura po ching, yiping, chokaching, chay, pagkasara, yiping uno ko na mayo ko na, yiping ko na katay ko na. Pero hinayata ko na ka, tay ko yoriti, tay okororo, tay wanka, tay pampakucho. Samin chawaiku. Ya kurang ama chawaiku, nyepu nyenimpa. Alguien can ir los maganos. Or pichai un coche, añay, thank you, gracias. Okay, we have to do music, happiness, Sami. Thank you, gracias.
Gracias.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Happy solstice. Thank you very much, Wilbert.
Okay,
Appreciate
very good.
your time.
Okay, great. So, 14, we are going to meet us to do a great and beautiful ceremony. All right?
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. See you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Wakeley. Thank you, Tricia. Thank you to everyone. Thank you for your time.